Hey everybody, Nick Yor here to bring you a very special edition of the Prep Zone. Today I'm joined by Mount Vernon head football coach Monty Fritts, and it's a very special guest. So, Coach, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
No problem. So, Coach, we'll get right into it with you. You guys just had a big road win at Wakefield last week. What did you like that you saw out of your team last week?
I think, first and foremost, we were able to run the football, and then defensively, we were able to stop them from running the football. We were able to get the clock rule early, so we got a lot of young guys in, and they were able to play a lot in the whole second half.
Yeah, it's always good experience to get some of those young guys in. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Mount Vernon head football coach Monty Fritts.
Good evening, lacrosse fans, and welcome to Westfield High School.
We have a great game in store for you today. The first time in the history of the Capital Classic that girls high school basketball players, the finest in the country, will be taking the court.
And welcome back to a very special edition of the Prep Zone as I am joined by Mount Vernon head football coach Monty Fritts. And we'll get right back into it, Coach. Would love to talk about your team's terrific start this year, now 5-0. What do you think has been the biggest key to getting off to such a great start?
I think number one, it's my third year here, so we have a lot of kids who started as freshmen or sophomores in my first year, and now they've been 3-year starters. I think we have a new quarterback and Fane Webb, who's been phenomenal, and he's rushed and passed for over 600 yards each, and scored a ton of touchdowns. And then I think defensively we have improved tremendously and haven't been giving up big plays.
Yeah, so talking about that 5-0 start, actually put you guys in the top 20 of the Washington Post, the All-Met rankings I saw. How much does that mean to you personally, just being your third year in the program?
It actually means a lot to me. I think maybe some coaches, they wouldn't care, but we took over the program. The program had been 5-26 in like the 3 years before I got here, and for us to slowly build and even be considered to be a top 20 team in the area is pretty crazy. I don't know if we're the 20th best team in the area, but it's nice to get that recognition and for other people to notice a lot of the hard work our kids have put in.
Yeah, I played at Yorktown, so I remember playing against Mount Vernon back in the day, and yeah, like you said, they were one of the worst ranked teams in the state when you got there, and now top 20 of the Washington Post. How would you even begin to describe, or what do you begin to do, you and your staff, to turn around a program like you've been doing?
I think first and foremost, we had a lot of athletes in the building, and for whatever reason, there just weren't a lot of kids playing football, and we were able to recruit the building really hard, and a lot of our coaches built relationships with kids to get them to trust us and to come out and play, and then, from there, it was just a bunch of kids who wanted to win, and they stayed in the weight room, and they listened to almost everything we tell them to do, and it's just such an awesome place. I think, when I got here, I didn't really know much about Mount Vernon, and I've been here for 3 years, and it's just a phenomenal place, and hopefully our football team's able to shed some light on a lot of the other positive things that our school offers.
Yeah, that's a great point. Always had a lot of great athletes out Mount Vernon basketball as well, so that's just a great point by you guys really recruiting the school. I love to hear that. So kind of go in a little bit of opposite direction here. You guys have had some success recently these past couple of years since you've been there. I've read 31 broken school records. I mean, that's just unbelievable. How do you and your staff preach maybe to not get complacent with a 5-0 start or just this recent success and maybe not overlook an opponent like you could have maybe last week?
Yeah, I think the easy thing for us is we started 5-0 last year, so this is the second straight year we started 5-0, which is a pretty awesome thing, and I think a lot of programs would trade places with us to be 5-0, but we went 5-0 last year and then lost to Hayfield, and it's kept our kids motivated. Our kids have been pretty motivated all off season to come back and prove that we can be more than competitive, that we can actually beat some of the better teams in our district and in our region, and I think our kids have such high goals that I don't think complacency is really an issue. Like they want to hang banners and win championships. So, to be able to do that, you have to grind every day, and I think our kids have done a great job of that.
Yeah, that's a great point. Certainly want to get to new levels each year within the program. So I'd like to maybe take a little bit of a different direction here. I read that before becoming head coach at Mount Vernon, you were actually the offensive coordinator at Friendship Collegiate, a very dominant school in the area. What was that experience like for you coaching such a high-power program and so many Division I athletes?
Yeah, I mean, it was another great place. I mean, I loved Friendship. I would have stayed there forever, but I wanted to be a head coach, and then my wife and I, we had our first kid, and I wanted to be a little closer to home. But the thing with Friendship is you look at the staff that I was on there. I mean, I had no excuse not to be a good coach. As ours now, the DB coach at the University of Maryland. Coach Hunter is probably the best high school coach in America. Is now the head coach at Friendship. Coach Rogers is the head coach at Blue, and they just won the DC State Championship. So there was not a lot of excuses on that staff, and they worked hard. And even some of the guys who were still there, Coach White, their O-line coach, like they just worked hard, and they taught me how I should be a head coach. And I'm not perfect, but they're great examples for me to look to and to ask advice. And Coach Hunter, the head coach there, is still one of my best friends. And when we get in a pickle or a jam, something I don't know how to do, I usually call him and ask him for help.
Yeah, it was kind of leading me to my next question. I would say, what would be the biggest thing from your time at Friendship that made you most prepared to take over this rebuilding job at Mount Vernon? Would you say it is those relationships with those coaches?
Yeah, I would say that. I think also, Friendship, just being an inner city charter school and kind of the dynamics that like I had to get better at building relationships with kids and learning how to deal with different kids from different backgrounds and kids from different parts of the city. When I came here, I had done that before, so it wasn't a new thing to come build relationships and get kids to learn to trust me and just actually believe in the mission that we had. I definitely would not be as successful as I am if I hadn't spent 5 years at Friendship.
Yeah, that's a great point. Very similar comparison as well there, like you said, building those relationships. So I just have one more question with you about Friendship. How much fun was it just calling offense for them and that type of team?
It was pretty fun. We were just, when you had teams like we had, we had the one team that had all the NFL guys on it, from Eddie Goldman to Yannick Ngakoue to Jermaine Carter to Jalen Tabor.
Yep.
It was just, practices were unbelievable. And just the amount of talent that our kids had. And then even just more than the talent, seeing some of the obstacles that the kids had to overcome with the backgrounds that they were coming from and the parts of the city that they were coming from. It was just such a great example to see how hard those kids work and how bad that city needs Friendship to be good, because they help so many kids.
Yeah, it's a great point. Certainly something Mount Vernon can look to build upon. So we'll get back on to Mount Vernon. So you guys are off to such a great start, like you said, did this as well last year. What do you think would be a successful season for this year's team, and do expectations differ from year to year with you, or is it the same every year with your program?
I think expectations are kind of the same for me, and those are more general expectations for the types of things that I want to instill in our kids, whether it's work ethic or being able to communicate in an effective manner, so that when they leave Mount Vernon, that they're successful contributors to their community. But for our team this year, I think, I've told our team this, and I'll tell everybody else, our goal is win the district, win home playoff games, to host some playoff games. If we make the playoffs this year, which it looks like we're on pace to be the second Mount Vernon team in history to make the playoffs in 3 consecutive years, which is just such a good thing for our kids. And, so I think for us, our goal is not to be competitive, it's to win championships this year, and it's got to start this Friday, because we play the returning district champs in Hayfield. And if we want to win the district, we have to beat them.
Yeah, so going into my next question, I was going to say you guys have a big game coming up this Friday versus Hayfield. You guys lost to last year. Always a talented team with a lot of athletes. They're replacing a couple key guys, but always very good. What are you expecting to see in this one, maybe the style of play?
You look at last year's game, there was like 105 points scored. There wasn't a lot of defense played in last year's game. I think both of our teams are much better on defense, so I don't think there'll be 100 points scored this year. I think the defenses for both teams are much better. Um, but for Hayfield, they're really smart on offense. They spread you out. They have a bunch of athletes. The Rajon Pringle kid is super dangerous in space. They just beat a really talented Robinson team. They're well tested and they're well coached. So we have to do a really good job of trying to keep them from hitting home runs and trying to get the ball out of our hands.
Yeah, it should be a very exciting game between you guys. A lot of good athletes on the field. So I want to talk to you about one of those athletes in particular, quarterback Fane Webb. He's had an amazing year so far, shown up a couple times here on our highlights. What has he been doing so well, and how much more do you think he can grow into as he just scratched the surface?
Oh, I think he's just scratching the surface. He's new to our system. He's a junior, so we get him for another year next year. I think the type of growth that he's shown from August 1st, which are the first day of practice, to now has been unbelievable. He's such a good athlete that he can create things out of nothing, which really helps us when things break down or when we play really good defenses. And then number two, he's very physical. For a quarterback, he's not like a Michael Vick type kid that just wants to make people miss. Like, he'll lower his shoulder and get yards, and that type of mindset, I think, has kind of bled through the rest of our team, and it's helped the rest of our team be even more physical because we are undersized. We have a lot of athletes, and we're really fast, but I think every team we've played this year has been larger than us from a line standpoint. So we have to come with a different mindset that even though somebody's bigger, we have to be tougher. And I think Fane's done a great job of exemplifying that for the rest of our team.
Yeah, that could be the case for a lot of games for you guys in Mount Vernon this year. A lot of athletes, but maybe not have that size that some of these bigger teams may have. That's always good to have in the red zone, a good quarterback, physical quarterback runner, and Fane certainly provides that. So we'll get you out of here on this one, Coach. What do you think will be the biggest key for you guys moving forward this year and maybe taking that next step into the playoffs?
So, I think our biggest step is can we limit big plays, and can we keep not turning the football over? So I think the most impressive stat that we have on our team right now is we haven't allowed any plays over 30 yards, and we haven't had any varsity turnovers. So when some JV guys have come in at the end of the game, they've had some turnovers, but when our starters have been in, we haven't turned the ball over yet. And to win football games, you got to do that. You can't let teams get big plays, and you have to hold on to the football when you have it. And if we keep doing those two things, then I think we're going to be pretty successful.
Yep, it's certainly the recipe for a good season. So that'll do it for us on this version of the Prep Zone. Thank you, Coach Fritts, for joining us, and thank you, everyone, for watching. Make sure to tune in every week for the best highlights, plays, interviews from around the DMV, and make sure to keep an eye out on Coach Fritts as he is turning around that Mount Vernon football program in a hurry. So make sure to check us out every week at dmvstream.com.
dmvstream.com, the Mid-Atlantic's leader in sports video, broadcasting, and live streaming. Contact us today to learn more about our services and streaming packages. Visit us on the web at dmvstream.com. That's dmvstream.com.